Welcome to the Deep Dive Protocol. I'm your host, Poet Woods. Now, you may have seen my strategies featured on NBC, CBS, and Fox News. But today, we're going deeper than sound bites. As a certified knowledge broker and transformational strategist, I know that success is 80% psychology. But as a Google certified AI performance specialist and an AI generalist, I also know that without the right systems, mindset is just a dream. My mission is to fuse these two worlds. In this episode, I've commissioned my AI intelligence team to deconstruct the code of the top 1%. We're stripping away the noise to reveal the real architecture of success. This isn't just a podcast. It's a reprogramming session. Get ready, because now it's time to think with an entrepreneur's mind. The protocol begins now.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're really digging into something complex. It's this idea that building real modern success isn't just one thing.
Exactly. It's like a three-legged stool, right? You need that deep internal work, the psychological mastery.
Yeah, mind over matter stuff.
Then you need the external tools.
Yeah.
The tech, the automation.
And finally, this ethical framework, this service-first approach to leading.
Right. And our sources weave these together into a single ecosystem. We're looking at the mind over matter, or M.O.M system, for the internal part.
Okay.
Then there's an entrepreneur's mind, the AEM AI platform for the tech side.
Got it.
And the servant leadership system, S.L.S, for that overarching strategy.
And we're drawing from some interesting figures here. People like Poet Woods, he's described as a transformational strategist, a knowledge broker.
Yeah, and Myron, Mr. M. Smith Jr., who comes from this really long line of entrepreneurs rooted in community and service.
So the big question for you listening is, how do these connect? How does changing your own subconscious, that deep stuff, how does that actually link up with building these high-tech automated money systems? And why does serving others become the glue that holds it all together?
That's the blueprint we're unpacking. It's a fascinating connection.
Let's start inside then, with the mind over matter system. The core idea seems to be, well, the biggest thing holding you back isn't usually out there.
No, it's in here. It's internal self-sabotage, basically. And it comes from this duality of the mind they talk about.
Okay, explain that duality.
So you've got the conscious mind. Think of it as the captain of the ship. It's your logic, your planning, your willpower. It analyzes things.
Right, the part you feel like is you making decisions.
Yeah, exactly. But it takes effort. Then there's the subconscious mind, the powerful engine room.
Okay.
This thing runs automatically. It manages all your habits, your deep-seated beliefs, your emotions. Effortless, but. And this is the kicker. It doesn't think critically.
So the problem is, if the engine's programming is faulty.
Precisely. If that engine has been programmed for years with, I'm not good enough, or money is hard to come by, well, it doesn't matter what the captain plots on the map.
The ship just keeps steering towards the rocks.
Every single time. The subconscious belief overrides the conscious desire. It's running the show.
Which leads us to what they call the law of belief. And this isn't wishful thinking, right? It's grounded in actual psychology.
Totally. Concepts like self-fulfilling prophecy, confirmation bias. If you deeply believe something, you subconsciously filter reality to match that belief. You look for proof that you're right, even if the belief is negative.
Wow. So your beliefs literally create your reality in a practical sense.
And the way that engine gets programmed, through suggestion, the subconscious just accepts repeated input, especially if there's emotion tied to it.
So negative self-talk is literally coding failure into your system.
You got it. Every time you say, I can't do this, you're reinforcing that program.
Now, here's where it got weird for me in the sources. Music. They actually called music the, quote, #1 form of mind control.
Yeah, that sounds intense, but think about how it works. Music doesn't politely ask your conscious mind for permission, does it?
No. It just hits you.
Right. Straight to the emotions, the memories, the deep stuff. It bypasses that critical filter. So if you're constantly soaking in music about struggle, loss, lack,
you're basically programming those feelings into your subconscious baseline.
that's the argument.
Yeah.
You're wiring that emotional state in.
Okay, so if the programming is bad, how do you rewrite it? The M.O.M system gives specific techniques, not just theory. First up is autosuggestion.
Right, affirmations, but with specific rules. They have to be positive. Stated in the present tense, this is crucial.
Not, I will be rich, but
I am wealthy because I will be, tells your subconscious, not yet.
Okay, present tense and repetition.
Yep, consistency is key. At least 5 times when you wake up, 5 times before bed. Minimum. Let it sink in.
And the second big tool is visualization, or what they call mental movies. This isn't just daydreaming, though.
No, it's structured, very specific. You need about 10-15 minutes daily. Start with deep relaxation. Got to quiet the conscious mind.
Okay.
Then get crystal clear on the goal. And here's the part most people miss. Engage all 5 senses in the visualization.
What do you mean? Like smell the new car smell?
Exactly. See it, hear the engine, feel the leather, smell it, maybe even taste the celebration champagne, whatever fits the goal. Make it real to your senses.
That level of detail.
Wow. That's the data for the subconscious. But the final critical piece is emotional amplification. You have to feel the joy, the relief, the confidence as if it's already happened.
Feel it. Yeah.
That feeling is what wires it in. It makes the subconscious accept this mental movie as a real experience, a future memory lived in advance.
Okay, so once you've done that internal work, stabilized the operating system, switched off the self-sabotage, then you're ready for the external system.
That's the bridge. Psychology meets execution. You now have the internal resilience to actually build and trust complex automated systems without freaking out.
Right. Let's talk about that execution piece. The sources mention this common problem. Entrepreneurs duct taping platforms together.
Yeah, using 5 different software tools that don't talk to each other, it's inefficient, leads fall through the cracks. It's a nightmare.
So the proposed solution is this, an entrepreneur's mind, or AEM platform, pitched as an all-in-one system.
Pretty much. It tries to streamline the whole customer journey into 3 main stages: capture, nurture, and close.
Okay, break that down. Capture is?
Capture is getting the leads in the door, landing pages, online booking forms, easy ways for people to give you their contact info, standard stuff, but integrated.
Right. But nurture, that sounds like where the automation, the AI, really kicks in.
That's the idea. Once someone's in the system, AEM is designed to automatically send texts, emails, even pre-recorded voicemails based on their behavior.
So like, if someone downloads a guide, they get a specific email sequence. If they book a call but miss it,
the system could automatically trigger a follow-up text or voicemail drop, yeah. Trying to mimic that human touch, but automated to keep leads warm without manual effort.
And the close phase.
That's about making the final steps easy and tracking results. Things like a unified inbox so you see all messages in one place, text-to-pay options, automatically asking for reviews after a purchase. It's about efficiency and not letting things slip.
Makes sense. Less time on admin, more on actual connection.
That's the goal.
Okay, now shifting gears slightly, but still on automation and external systems. Okay, mindset dialed in, automation running. What's the leadership philosophy that sustains all this? This is where the servant leadership system, S.L.S, comes in.
Yeah, and this is often misunderstood. People hear servant and think doormat or just being nice.
But that's not it.
Not according to Robert Greenleaf, who formalized it back in 1970. It's presented as a high-performance methodology. It's about fundamentally reversing the traditional pyramid.
How?
The leader's primary focus shifts from their own ego or gain to prioritizing the needs, growth, and well-being of their followers, their team, their customers, everyone they serve.
And the sources claim this isn't just feel-good stuff. It actually gets better results.
Dramatically better, apparently. They cite data showing servant-led organizations don't just grow faster, but they outperform competitors by up to 200% during tough times, like economic downturns.
200%. Wow. That's not marginal. How? Why does focusing on others build that kind of resilience?
It seems to build deep loyalty and commitment that goes beyond just a paycheck. Greenleaf talked about key traits: listening, empathy, stewardship. But the one that really stands out is healing.
Healing in a business context.
Yeah, actively recognizing and addressing burnout, low morale, the broken spirits on your team. When people feel genuinely cared for and supported, especially when things are tough, they give their best. That creates resilience.
And the measure of success for the leader isn't just profit then.
The ultimate metric, according to Greenleaf, is asking, do those served grow as persons? Do they become healthier, wiser, freer, more autonomous, more likely themselves to become servants? If yes, then you're succeeding as a servant leader.
We're going to see this in the backgrounds mentioned. Mr. M. with his family's multi-generational restaurant.
Exactly. A successful restaurant has to be about consistent service, community building, nurturing relationships over the long haul. It's S.L.S baked into the business model.
And Poet Wood's the knowledge broker role. That fits too, doesn't it?
Perfectly. His job is finding and delivering proven ideas efficiently. That's intellectual stewardship. He's making the client wiser, freer, more autonomous by giving them the right knowledge faster.
The sources even bring in a historical example, pointing to Jesus Christ.
Right, as someone with ultimate authority who consciously chose the model of leader as servant, like in Luke 22:26. The idea is that this choice inspires a level of commitment, voluntary followership that top-down authority can never achieve.
Okay, let's get concrete. You mentioned data. This isn't just philosophy. There's math behind S.L.S.
There is. The sources mention regression analysis showing servant leadership explains 41% of the variance in follower satisfaction.
41%. That's a huge chunk explained by just one factor.
It's massive. It shows a powerful link between this leadership style and how happy and engaged the team is.
And then happiness translates to bottom line results.
Seems so. They report SL teams having at least a 25% boost in innovation, and they make decisions 30% faster.
Why? What's the mechanism?
It comes down to psychological safety. When people feel safe, trusted, supported, they perform better.
And there's actual brain science here too.
Yeah, neurobiology. Servant leaders, by being consistent, caring, keeping promises, they actually trigger the release of oxytocin, the trust molecule, in their employees' brains.
Interesting.
Plus, S.L.S. aligns perfectly with what psychologists call self-determination theory, SDT.
SDT, remind me.
It says humans are intrinsically motivated when 3 core psychological needs are met: autonomy, having control over your work; competence, feeling skilled and effective; and relatedness, feeling connected to others.
And servant leadership delivers on all 3.
According to the theory, yes. It empowers people, autonomy, helps them grow, competence, and builds community relatedness. When those needs are met, people can hit that peak performance state called flow.
Okay, managing all this, the internal state, the team's needs, the systems, sounds complex. The sources use some unusual metaphors from quantum physics.
They do, to explain how interconnected everything is in an organization. The first concept is entanglement.
Like the physics thing? How does that apply here?
The idea is that the leader's internal state, their mood, their stress level, isn't separate from the team. It's fundamentally entangled. If the leader is fearful or chaotic inside...
It instantly ripples through the whole system, degrading trust and performance.
Exactly. Non-locally, almost instantaneously. It underlines why that internal M.O.M. work is critical not just for the leader, but for everyone.
Because the leader's state is an input to the system, which relates to the other concept, the observer effect.
Right. Just like in physics, the act of observing changes the system. A leader's presence, how they show up, always influences the team.
So servant leadership requires managing your own presence.
Yes, what they call input control, instead of hovering or micromanaging, which creates anxiety.
Which is a negative observation.
Right. The servant leader practices low-impact observation, asking questions genuinely to learn, not to control, showing trust. This reinforces positive behaviors without making people feel constantly judged.
Sounds demanding. To maintain this level of awareness and service constantly.
It is, which is why the sources insist S.L.S. has to be holistic. It needs to apply across your whole life, summarized by the 5 F's. Let's touch on the first 2, finance and fitness.
Okay. How does S.L.S. apply to finance?
It's about stewardship and foresight with money, practicing disciplined financial habits like pay yourself first, prioritizing saving and giving.
They mention a specific budget.
Yeah, the 50-20-30 rule. 50% for needs, 20% for saving, investing, giving, 30% for wants. The point is, the leader needs to be financially stable themselves to serve effectively without personal money stress clouding their judgment.
Makes sense. And fitness.
That's stewardship of your own physical and mental energy. Servant leadership takes a lot out of the empathy, the listening, holding space for others.
You can't pour from an empty cup.
Exactly. So you have to intentionally build in rest, exercise, mental breaks to avoid burnout. If the leader burns out, the whole entangled system suffers.
Okay, let's tie this all together. We've got the internal mastery with M.O.M., the external automation with A.E.M., and the guiding philosophy of S.L.S. It really is presented as one integrated system.
It's a loop, right? The internal work, M.O.M., gives you the stability to manage the tech and market swings. And the ethical framework, S.L.S., makes sure that success is sustainable because you're focused on lifting others up, which builds resilience and loyalty.
And underlying all of it is this philosophical choice they present, being on the cause side versus the effect side of life.
Yeah. Are you taking full responsibility, owning everything? Cause? Or are you blaming external factors, making excuses, effect? Real power, they argue, only comes from choosing the cause side.
And that choice even impacts how you view the past.
It's a fascinating paradox. They say you change the past's hold over you, not by dwelling on it, but by putting 100% of your focus on building your desired future self today.
So all that energy gets redirected from regret to creation.
Exactly. The past loses its emotional charge when you're fully engaged in building what's next through service and systems.
Which brings us to maybe the final thought for you, the listener. Something to really chew on.
If we accept that our subconscious mind is running maybe 90% of our daily actions, beliefs, and results anyway, how much time are you consciously, deliberately programming that powerful engine for the success you actually want, using tools like focused visualization, like auto-suggestion?
Versus just letting it run on default. Letting old habits, random news headlines, negative comments from others, or that song stuck in your head dictate the programming.
Right. Are you actively coding your future, or are you letting the system run on autopilot, potentially against the very goals you're consciously striving for?
That choice between conscious programming and just defaulting might be the absolute core of mastering this whole system. Powerful stuff.
The transmission ends here, but the construction project is just beginning. Now, I've told you to go get the blueprint, but you need to understand, I'm not just sending you there to download a PDF. I'm sending you to the armory. The blueprint is the central command station for an entrepreneur's mind. When you step inside, you aren't just getting scripts. You're getting access to the full scope of my agency's heavy artillery. The AI appointment bots to clone your sales team and book calls while you sleep. The interactive video engines that turn passive viewers into active buyers. The Dirty Dollars OS to automate your access acquisition. And even the legal architectures and biohacking fuel you need to protect and power your empire. And so much more. We have the tech, the strategy, the protection, and the protocol. It's all waiting for you behind one door. Go to anentrepreneursmind.com/blueprint. Stop playing with the pieces of the puzzle. Come get the whole picture. Initiate the protocol. I'll see you on the inside. Stay focused, and as always, straight ahead.